Three, two, one. Hi, and welcome to yet another expat, the episode where you think it has expat news, but it doesn't because I've been in my home country, Greece, for 2 months now. But Berlin is getting some love from July onwards. I will be there, so don't worry. Watching from afar, I'm definitely not missing much. The weather seems to be absolutely horrible, but I will be there to check on my own. I'll be sharing stories about weird art exhibitions, open air parties, and how some drugged up homeless people want to push me on the urban rails very soon. For a little longer, though, my life will be this of the countryside, away from human interaction and into the welcoming hands of nature and 50,000 mosquitoes that want to eat me every single time. I am like a celebrity here. Every time I step out of the house, the paparazzis are coming. I try to cover myself from them. I put on these disguises so they don't recognize me, but no, they find me every single time. What changed from last week? Well, not much. I made an Instagram account for the podcast, but Instagram actually thinks I'm some sort of bot, so it has really restricted my access. I can barely do anything there, let alone run ads. I'm not sure why that's happening, probably because this content is too good to be true, but I'll figure it out and get things going. Now, another chapter of life that I will bring into this intro is just a working out update. I know some of you have followed this podcast and you know about the 30-day challenge I'll try to do at some point. And if you listen to the recent ones, I also know what you're thinking. How are you, Hermes? Are you eating tiny ice creams all the time? Is this your life one? Is this your life now? Well, I started working out again. I think the 30 days challenge was quite difficult. So I was trying to find what made it difficult for me. And honestly, I think I have figured it out in the most bizarre way. My new thing is standing workouts. Yes, standing workouts really work for me. No need to roll down and change positions and cry like a fetus or pose like a cat or do the tiger, do the upwards dog and the downwards dog and the laughing baby. No, I do the standing human. This is my thing. The standing human works really, really well. And so I'm doing this hit exercise. I never knew what this meant before. I always thought it means something stupid. Now I'm in it. I am watching these videos like 7 minutes minimum, 15 minutes maximum. It's not a lot, but it is something. And let me tell you, these videos of standing workouts are great because actually half of the times I did exercises before, I couldn't fucking look at the laptop screen. Like, where do I place the laptop when I'm doing this yoga stuff? Do I place it on the ground? Do I place it in a chair? The levels change. You try to look at the screen. I twist my neck to look because you don't know if you're doing things right. And I would be so annoyed trying to get the best angle. But now everything is straightforward. I look straight, I do what they do, I can see them, I can see myself. Such a clear way to do it. Now, the only annoying part is that the music taste of these creators, it's horrible. I mean, I don't like complaining, but all of the videos that I've tried, they have this some sort of EDM summertime hit that never happened because they don't actually have hits because of copyrights. So they have some stupid EDM music that kind of assumes. So they have this EDM music that kind of feels like a hit, but it's not even that. So it's even worse. But yes, quick life updates, less tiny ice creams, more standing workouts, and still mosquitoes are by far the biggest winner. But let's get going. I'll try to keep it short today, bring you some cool stuff, or not so cool. You know what types I bring usually. Okay, let's get this. Oh, and by the way, before I say let's get this going, Yanis has promised to make me some cool music for this podcast intro, in between outro, because as he said, my music is elevator music or some type of soft erotic movie type of music. So if you want to object this, find a way to do so, because otherwise I am taking up that offer. In one of the first podcasts, I even said if anyone wants to write something stupid, a few seconds in the intro, in the outro, and some fillers, I'll take it. I'll make you famous. This podcast is going places. This is your chance to jump on the ride. Well, it seems like Yanis is jumping on the ride. Is he doing it to get rich and famous? Maybe. Is he doing it so he doesn't have to listen to the music I have already? Most likely. But okay, let's hear this beautiful music one more time and let's get it started into the next segment. Okay, so one thing that I realized with the internet from a very young age is that everything has already happened. This is the beauty of the internet somehow. We don't need parallel universes. Delete sentence. Delete all. So, one thing that I learned from a young age as I explored the internet is that everything has already happened. This is somehow the beauty of the internet. If you have a question, it has been asked before. If you have an idea, it has probably happened before. If you Google now, I don't know how to make a trampoline. Okay, I'm Googling how to make a trampoline. Of course, someone has asked how to make a trampoline, and someone has created a guide on how to make a trampoline. If I if I look for how to build your own plane, right? How to build a plane. Well, it's there. It's there. How to build your own plane. There are videos, there are manuals, there are contests. Every single bizarre thing that you might want to do, well, someone has probably already done it and put it on the internet. And this is it. We don't need parallel universes to prove that everything has already happened. We have the internet. Where am I going with this? A few podcasts ago, I brought up this idea, my idea of the place. The place would be a place where you can go and do nothing. That would be the concept in a very guilt-free way. Like when someone goes, in an all-day spa, and you kind of know they will not use their phone. So when you are in the spa and others know about it, it's kind of you don't feel this guilt. I should be over my phone. This false sense of urgency, this false sense of presence you need to have. So the idea was to create this place where you don't have to do anything. This is the premise. This is where people come from, and we give them the space and the setup to do it without having to explain anything to externals. We would normalize doing nothing in the place. Well, turns out in South Korea, there is actually a contest of doing nothing. They have a contest of doing nothing, and not only there is a contest, but they take it very seriously. People have heart monitors just so that you know if they fell asleep, and you can check how stable they keep their heart rate. And yeah, it's like a contest. It lasts 1.5 hours every time, and it started by an artist, and this artist wanted to protest against having to be productive all the time. What a place. So this happens. I watched it on video. It looks pretty weird, if I'm honest. They put all these people in some like a confined space, and they have brought their teddy bears, and they have brought their headphones and all sorts of things to try and did they even have headphones? Maybe they're just noise canceling, because that would be cheating if you're listening to something. The thing is that there is a winner. It's like a contest. Someone wins who I guess managed to do nothing more than everyone else. And you have to call out the irony, right? This woman, this artist, started this whole thing as a protest against productivity and the productivity driven society. And now it's made into a competitive thing where people measure how productive you were in being unproductive. Like your doing nothingness effectiveness is being assessed and scored. So tricky stuff kind of defeats the purpose, but pretty fun to see all of these people try to do nothing and some of them winning. And apparently, the judges just walk amongst this crowd of people doing nothing, looking left and right and taking notes. So, yes, the South Korea beat us to it, but they made it too competitive. Once we set up the place, you can go there and do nothing without heart monitors and observers, but you can definitely bring your own stuffed animals. Now, one more thing I want to share about is cicadas? Cicadas are like the techno of Greece. They have this buzzing electro noise. They usually start at beginning to mid of June, and they signify, is that the word? They signal that summer has started. And once they start, they never stop. It just becomes this background noise, best case, or a very active noise, worst case, whenever you are in the Greek countryside, and it's just a constant buzz. Well, apparently it's only the male cicadas that do it. The male cicadas are buzzing their butt to attract the females. And let me tell you, they have started their calling. I remember reading a few years ago an Airbnb review that was saying that the place was lovely, but the person in the first floor or someone that was always this electro music happening, and apparently it was cicadas and people had never heard them before, or stories of again tourists going to their Greek host saying, "Hey, what is this sound?" And literally the Greeks don't hear the sound anymore, even though it can actually be very loud if there's nothing but cicadas around you. And for Greeks, hearing the cicadas can be very relaxing. For others, it can be a bit more of a stressful sound. It goes like this. Some sounds are relaxing to us, and universally speaking, the bird songs are relaxing for humans. Hearing bird songs calms our nervous system. But why is that? So, study in nature.com says that actually the bird song has a relaxing effect because our nervous system have been hardwired over thousands of years and connect bird song with safety. So yes, birds don't sing when there are predators around. So generally speaking, if there is a bird song in the air, it means that there is no imminent danger nearby. And of course, birds can also make noises to attract sexual partners, just like the cicadas, or make sounds, or make sounds to alert. But the most of the time, the strongest connection there is that the bird song in the air means that a danger is nowhere nearby. And this connection to safety makes us feel relaxed and at peace. So they did some research in that and they found that the sound of birdsong actually improves the mood, reduces anxiety and depressive symptoms, and it's this set of frequencies that are calming to the brain. Now, as I was looking into that, there was a comment that I didn't do the research to follow up that said that the bird songs actually have effects in their environment. So the bird song in a forest or in nature has actually an effect on the plants because it also signals that the day has started, that we're exiting the night. And there was a beautiful comment, I take it as you might, that said that it's actually the birds that are singing that wake up the plants, and then actually as the plants open up and the petals and their leaves open up, that signals the bees to start going. And I remember seeing that actually flowers have an electromagnetic field. They emit a specific electric, they have an electric charge. Yeah, I think that's the right way to say it. And when bees are flying, bees also have an electric charge because of their buzzing, and they can actually sense when a flower is ready. And the funniest thing is with bees, when they visit a flower and they take the nectar and they take themselves with pollen, through that process, they actually change the charge of the specific flower. And so the next bee, as it's flying, it can sense that a bee has already visited that flower because the electric charge indicates so. And how beautiful and bizarre is that? There are so many centuries ways in nature that we have absolutely no idea about. But we all go on and we learn. In the last bit here, the news come from the UK. And, I had to throw a little bit AI in the things I bring you. So turns out that the UK actually has its first AI candidate. Is this something stupid to make headlines? Probably so, but it also made it in here, so here we are. I actually find it a pretty smart idea. So, yes, the concept is called AI Steve, and it's an avatar of a businessman called Stephen Endicott, who is running for parliament as an independent. That's the best way to run if you're doing weird shit. So, he has made an AI, and voters can interact with this AI. It's called AI Steve. And the voters, by talking to this AI, they actually influence the policy positions directly. So this businessman says, hey, I will only act as the, in person representative of this AI, but it's not going to be me. It's going to be you, the people. He is claiming to aim to enhance direct democracy by integrating this voter feedback. This is how he calls it. So the AI, can have 10,000 conversations at the same time. And he says that he will be taking all of that feedback, and based on the AI, he will just be the representative to do what the AI has been deciding to do based on all the input. Now, I like this concept. It sounds pretty smart because it says, "Hey, listen, I'm running for the parliament. Okay, I am a candidate, but I don't have time to listen to all of you people. I would love to. I know it's good to listen to all of you, but I just don't have the time. So here's an AI I made. Yeah. Go talk to that AI, and then it will just compress everything and then bring it to me. So just talk to that, and I will get the gist of it. Right. There is some parallel here with God and religion and praying. We're just putting in all of these requests in a system that we don't know exactly how it works, with the hopes that it reaches the final destination. But yes, AI Steve is there. It's a smart concept. I like the how he's selling it about the direct democracy part of it. Perhaps I should replicate and try it in Greece and get thousands of people shit talking this AI, giving it the worst ideas ever. But it's interesting to see AI come into everywhere. I mean, the limit is the imagination. I remember thinking many, many years ago, before ChatGPT, before AI was so in our lives, that what is the way to agree something as humanity? Yeah, I was thinking about the big question, probably high somewhere, and I was thinking, how do you bring world peace? How do you make these different parties, these different strategies, different agendas come to agreements? What would be a way to settle disputes in a way that is arguably the best? And I had one or two ideas, because I think this is an important one. If everyone just agreed on how to settle their disputes, then less conflicts would happen, right? I think that's the concept of peace, just agreeing that we can be in a certain way. And one of my wild ideas was divine intervention, which in my mind was an alien life form like a UFO. And again, this is absolutely theoretical. Yeah, it's just a mental gymnastics. But I was thinking, imagine that some super advanced civilization, some higher being, some divine UFO, alien, whatever, that has the power to just annihilate us, one day decides, I've had enough with you, Earth. No more democracy for you. I am the final ruler of things. All of you nations, all of you powers, you can, if you have a dispute, you bring it to me. And it sounds like a very totalitarian way, I understand, but this alien overlord wouldn't actually be interested in ruling and taking over. It would be interested in keeping the maximum amount of peace and prosperity and biodiversity or some other. It would have some parameters that we can all generally agree that they are in the good place. And then, well, you go to the highest court, the alien overlord comes, decides, and then you go on to live your life. You want the Southeast China Sea, this is where we put the border. Philippines takes a bit, Taiwan takes a bit, everyone takes a bit. If you say no, I snap my fingers and everyone is gone. This is a bit extreme. This is a bit extreme. But another one I was thinking very close to this would be an AI. An AI that would be arguably a universally agreed power. They say that AI will surpass human intelligence in some years. So imagine many, many years from now that you have this AI supercomputer, like the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy type of computer, only it doesn't take thousands and thousands of years to reply 42, but instead it can take conflicts or inputs and give an answer that needs to be applied and is universally accepted as the right one. And this happens already. There are AI that you want to build a bridge. If you want to build a bridge, you need to look at very many different parameters for the conditions, the wind, the depth, the size, how much weight it's going to have on. You can take all of these parameters and feed it into a system, and it will universally acceptably create the best way to set up this bridge. And you can have the different architects and engineers and all of that to make it work. You can have them give the parameters, but what the machine spits out, we all agree is the best solution. Now, I think that a state of AI like that would might never be even possible. But if you think about it, this would be one more way to settle some disputes. Now, how do you get every single nuclear power in the world to just agree that some AI is the one to decide the fate of things? Well, I think that is the impossible part. But long story short, getting an AI as a parliament member is definitely a fun way to go. And AI can be biased in many different ways now. So this is always comes with a caveat, but hopefully we tailor this technology more and more. So one day it can take over the wheel, put us in some sort of human zoo next to the other zoos, and give us food and feed us and bring some aliens to pat our heads, and we can reproduce and have fun and create and enjoy and make art. So yes, if you are ready for an AI overlord to finally put some order into this chaos, take all the means of production and distribute wealth to everyone, bring the society of abundance, then subscribe to this podcast, follow this podcast, share it with your friends, put it on your Instagram stories, send it to your family. Was this the worst shameless plug I've made to try and promote this podcast? Most likely, yes, but this has been it. It's time for us to stop. This is my closure. I hope you're having a good week. I hope the weather improves wherever you are, and I hope that the AI overlords one day come to take the wheel. Because look at Joe Biden. The man freezes every 10 seconds. He needs a reboot, and he's the only alternative. This is scary. Okay, bye.